Okay, we're going to go over the recommendations in more detail. So, the Shetland Neurodiversity Project was created specifically to deal with the power imbalances in Shetland Islands Council and the lack of following the CARES Act, which is a law that the council is required to follow. And repeatedly, when I've pointed out to the council that they're not following the CARES Act, I get gaslit. So either these people don't know the CARES Act for which they're meant to follow, or they do know the CARES Act and they're gaslighting me. Either way, it's a sign of a broken service. So here's the recommendations from the Shetland Neurodiversity Project. Enhanced training for professionals to ensure that social workers, healthcare professionals receive up-to-date training on autism, neurodiversity, and the specific challenge faced by unpaid carers in Shetland. So Shetland Neurodiversity Project is creating courses based on the University of Kent, but specifically for Shetland, talking about Shetland issues. Number 2 is incorporate cares and planning. Involve unpaid cares in risk management, service design, ensure their needs are met and resources are used effectively. Increase funding for respite care. Allocate more funding to respite care and emergency support services to prevent care burnout. Institutionalization of individuals with disabilities. Now, that's a specific point that the board is supposed to be working towards, is making sure that disabled people stay in their homes. And Shetland Neurodiversity Project is going to help the Shetland Islands Council achieve that because they can't seem to do it by themselves. Okay, number 3, increase funding for respite care. I kind of want to put that up to number 1, but these are not numerically rated in their importance. There's not enough money to fund respite care. There's not enough money for the Shetland Islands to follow the CARES Act. Why is that? The people who allocate money for this either aren't allocating enough or there simply isn't enough money at all in the budget. Whatever the case may be, Shetland Neurodiversity Project intends to fill this gap through third sector funds. I can apply for lots of funds using my story as evidence of how terrible things are up here. Evidence of how not only are the laws not followed, but when unpaid carers point out that the laws are not being followed, they're gaslit. Not only is that illegal, it's unethical. It's not moral. And some disabled people that get help from the Shetland Neurodiversity Project have described it as evil. It's only evil if people know what's happening and they allow it to continue. That's my opinion. If the joint board listens to my story and they think they would rather continue to break the law and destroy people's lives, then they're evil. So, back to our list here. Increasing funding for respite care, allocating more funds for respite care and emergency support to prevent care burnout and institutionalization of individuals with disabilities. Number 4, strengthen communication channels. Improve communication between social services and carers to ensure that concerns are addressed promptly and effectively. So when somebody says, I'm in an emergency and I need help, they get help immediately. When somebody says, I need help, or there's going to be emergency soon, they need to get help immediately. Best practice is 6 weeks. I've never, ever gotten best practice from Shetland Islands Council in this respect, ever, in my many, many years of caring. I've dedicated my whole adult life to caring for autism. And I have never received best practice, ever. Shetland Neurodiversity Project has been created to demand best practice from Shetland Islands Council. If Shetland Islands Council is not able to provide best practice because of funding issues, Shetland Neurodiversity Project will raise money through the third sector to fill the gap so that you no longer destroy people's lives. Yeah. So some other points here: improved risk management and a conflict resolution mechanism. So if there's conflict, if there's conflict of interest, if somebody feels bullied and gaslit by a social worker, if somebody has highlighted unethical behavior of a social worker, there should be a conflict resolution mechanism. It shouldn't be dismissed. Social workers should not be allowed to abuse their power. Social workers should have to follow the legislation. And when they don't, they should be held accountable. It shouldn't be brushed under the rug. It shouldn't be hidden to protect the image of Shetland Islands Council. Doing so actually damages the image of Shetland Islands Council. Neurodivergent people are highly intelligent, and it's wrong to dismiss us and assume that we don't understand the discrimination and abuse we're receiving from the people who are supposed to be protecting us and helping us. The most important thing that this is all about is that carers need regular respite and support as prescribed in the CARES Act. Unpaid carers need to receive regular respite care. Regular respite care. People that are in serious caring situations that don't have any time to do anything except care and sleep should be given respite. They should not be allowed to break down. When somebody says they need help, they should get help so they can continue to be in unpaid care and work for the council for free. Unpaid carers work for the council for free. And you have to take care of us. You have a legal obligation to make sure we don't burn out. And Shetland Neurodiversity Project is here to make sure it does not happen to another carer. Shetland Islands Council will be held responsible. And Shetland Islands Council will change and start following the law with the help of the Shetland Neurodiversity Project.